International mediators are pushing Israel and Hamas to agree to another temporary extension of their truce. That would see the release of more hostages and prisoners and allow for more aid to ease the embattled territory's humanitarian crisis. Mediators are hoping these talks will pave the way to a permanent ceasefire, but they still have a long way to go. A convoy of Red Cross trucks carrying released hostages crossed the Rafah border today. It's the latest group of hostages abducted by Hamas militants during the October 7th attack on Israel to be released, and the last group expected to be freed under the current truce agreement. Qatari mediators say they're working hard and making some progress towards extending the temporary truce once again, saying there are more hostages that could be released in the coming days.
I can't comment on the details of what's happening in the negotiating room at the moment, but it is happening in a positive environment, and it fills us with hope that we will be able to announce something positive by the end of the day.
But talks between the warring groups have been dampened by unverified claims from Hamas that some of the youngest hostages were killed by Israeli airstrikes earlier in the war. That includes 10-month-old Kafir and 4-year-old Ariel Bibas, along with their mother. Their father was also taken captive. Israel says it's assessing the claim. Relatives of the Bibas family have been pushing for their release for months.
Maybe it's part of a psychological war against us. I have no idea. It's working really good because the last 4 days has been completely nightmare for us.
Israel has promised to hold off on any further attacks as long as Hamas continues to free 10 hostages a day. That's something many international officials are encouraging.
We're hopeful that the truce can be extended, but as I said in the council, this is all in the hands of Hamas.
Mediators are hoping each small pause in fighting will help pave the way to a long-term ceasefire.
So we are here to make a clear statement that a truce is not enough. What is needed is a ceasefire. What is needed is a credible peace, and a peace that lasts and that allows the Palestinians and the Israelis to live side by side in two states.
The people of Gaza are in the midst of an epic humanitarian catastrophe before the eyes of the world. We must not look away. Intense negotiations are taking place to prolong the truce, which we strongly welcome. But we believe we need a true humanitarian ceasefire.
An extended reprieve would also allow for more desperately needed aid into Gaza. The embattled territory has been without sufficient food, water, and fuel under an Israeli siege for the past 2 months. The United Nations and other groups are calling for a two-state solution.
We need to start looking ahead to the future after this conflict, to a future where Israelis and Palestinians live side by side in peace with equal measure of freedom and dignity and prosperity. This must be our charge because it is the only way forward and the only way to break the terrible cycle of violence.